Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are fine and healthy. Today we are going to start a new lesson, Penogulu, a village on the hills. In the previous two chapters, we studied about village life in the Krishna Delta and on the Telangana Plateau. In this chapter, we will study village life in a very different region, very different landform, that is the hills. In the next slide, you can see Telangana map where the colored area is Jayashankar Bhupalli district where Penugulu village in Wazid Mandal lies on the hills on the banks of river Godavari. Now let us take a brief look at the village Penugulu. Penugulu village in Wazid Mandal lies on the hills that are on the banks of river Godavari. The community that live here are Koyas. Koya means a good person living on the hills. It is one of the tribe. They speak Koya language and this community is spread out on the hills up to adjoining states such as Odisha, Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh. Many Koyas have also migrated and live in Adilabad, Karimnagar, Warangal and some parts of East Godavari and they can speak Telugu also. This village is surrounded by hills known as Guttalu and have names like Karregutta or Nallagutta in the north near Chhattisgarh, Vankamamidi Gutta in the south, Kallu Kuntala Gutta in the east and Chinna Kumari Lanka, Pedda Kumari Lanka in the west. Eastern Ghats. Telangana Plateau is a part of Deccan Plateau. In the previous lesson you have studied in detail about it. It is marked by the Eastern Ghats on the one side, one corner and are located on the eastern border of Jayashankar district. The hill ranges in Telangana are part of Western Ghats also. Most people living in the hills belong to different tribal communities. They have different kinds of names. These are Savara, Kondadora, Gadaba, Gond, Mannedora, Mukadora and Koya. They have the unique cultural heritage and depend on collection of forest produce and hunting for their livelihood. However, these communities face many disruptions that are threatening their way of life. Wazir is situated on the confluence of the stream Nalandevi Vagu. What do you mean by confluence, children? Confluence is nothing but the place where two or more rivers join together to become one single stream. We reached Gummadi Doddi village which is located at the foot of the hills. The path was very steep, narrow and slippery. We also saw the famous Bogata waterfall near Chikupalli. There are thick forest and occasional big patches of cleared land. These clearances are the fields that lie scattered across the hills. These fields with red soil were on the slopes and they were not looking very fertile. It is located 20 kilometers away from the Mandal headquarters at Wazidu. And coming now to Podu. Podu is a unique technique of cultivation. Koyas grow crops using a distinct technique called Podu. Podu is a traditional practice of farming in hilly regions. This is also called shifting agriculture or June cultivation. This practice of shifting cultivation is also done in states like Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Arunachal Pradesh. Each village has a specified area or hill that can use for farming. Within this area, people clear a patch of forest and burn it. Then they grow crops on these fields for few years. After that, they leave the patch of land and allow the forest to grow again. Meanwhile, they move to the another site in the same area where they clear another patch of forest land to grow crops for a few years more. In the hills, it stops raining around November. The Koyas use their axes to clear the patches in December. They allow the logs of wood to dry on the fields and these are then burnt in April or May before it rains. When the rainy season starts, the ground is covered with ashes and in June people dribble seeds with the help of sticks. The dribble of the seeds means to propel by successive slide taps or bounces with hand, foot or stick. This way they sow seeds of many crops together by broadcast method by spreading the seeds on the ground. One of the reasons for not using plow on the hill slopes is that this would loosen the soil too much. This could lead to easy runoff of the topsoil during the rains. This could make the fields infertile. The main crops of the area are jowar, maize, tubers, millets and sesame. and pulses like red gram, green gram, and lots of vegetables like brinjal, chilies, and gongura, etc. are grown here. They grow mixed crops without any irrigation. The total produce normally provides them with enough food for about 6 months. Since these fields are very close to the forest, the koyas build mulch to guard the fields until December. In olden days, on an average, each family cleared 2 to 2.5 acres of forest land. The average yield of jowar per acre of podu field is 250 kilograms. So each family harvested about 600 kilograms of jowar apart from 150 to 250 kilograms of small millets. Earlier, larger forest areas were available in the hills, but now the area available for podu has decreased to about 1 to 1.5 acres. This has led to reduced availability of food grains for each family. At the same time, people are forced to come back to the same plot of land. The rotation cycle has also become smaller, so the soil is not able to recover its fertility as earlier. Answer the multiple choice questions in your classwork after completing the PDF. And now write these 3 questions in your homework. Thank you.